In a move that sent shockwaves through global markets, President Trump announced a sweeping new tariff policy on April 2, 2025. Dubbed Liberation Day, the policy marks a significant escalation in his protectionist trade agenda. It imposes a baseline 10% tariff on all goods imported from every U.S. trade partner. China faces a 34% tariff, raising total tariffs to 54%. The European Union faces a 20% tariff, Vietnam 46%, and Japan 24%. This aggressive tariff regime aims to shield American industries from foreign competition. The president argues these measures will revitalize American manufacturing and reduce the trade deficit. However, economists warn of significant risks, including a potential global recession and trade war. Trump's new tariff policy extends its reach far beyond a general increase on imports. Among the hardest hit are the steel and aluminum industries, already subject to a 25% tariff since March 12, 2025. The automotive industry is also squarely in the crosshairs of Trump's trade war. A 25% tariff on all foreign-made vehicles, effective April 3, 2025, sends shockwaves through the global auto market. This move threatens to disrupt supply chains, increase prices for American consumers, and harm the competitiveness of U.S. automakers who rely on imported parts. Even the seemingly innocuous beer industry is not spared. A 25% tariff on imported beer and aluminum cans, effective immediately, is likely to increase prices for American consumers and hurt businesses on both sides of the border. The interconnected nature of global supply chains means that tariffs on raw materials like steel and aluminum will have ripple effects throughout the economy, raising costs for manufacturers and ultimately hurting consumers. The tariffs, while intended to boost domestic production, could backfire by increasing costs and making American-made cars less competitive. The immediate aftermath of Trump's announcement was a palpable sense of unease in the global financial markets. The stock market, a barometer of investor confidence, reacted with predictable alarm. The S&P 500 ETF tumbled by 2.7%, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ 100 ETF plunged 3.5%. Tech stocks, particularly Apple, which relies heavily on global supply chains, plummeted by 7%. Semiconductor companies like Nvidia also experienced significant declines, highlighting the interconnectedness of the global tech industry and its vulnerability to trade disruptions. Beyond the immediate market reaction, economists are warning of potentially dire long-term consequences. Fitch Ratings issued a stark warning of a potential global recession triggered by a trade war. Moody's chief economist projects potential job losses and a spike in unemployment above 7% if the tariffs are met with retaliation from trading partners. Section 4. A world in protest, political and international backlash against Trump's tariffs. Unsurprisingly, the reaction to Trump's tariff announcement has been met with swift and fierce condemnation both domestically and internationally. Democrats have denounced the move as absurd, crazy, and chaotic, accusing the president of sparking a trade war that will harm American businesses and consumers. Even within his own party, there are growing concerns among Republicans about the potential political fallout. The Senate, in a rare bipartisan rebuke, is even considering a resolution to revoke the tariffs on Canadian goods, highlighting the growing unease with Trump's protectionist policies. Internationally, the response has been equally negative, with key U.S. allies and trading partners vowing retaliation. The global trading system, already strained by rising nationalism and protectionist sentiment, is teetering on the brink of a full-blown trade war. Section 5. Echoes of the past, historical parallels and policy recommendations. Trump's aggressive tariff regime has drawn comparisons to the infamous Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, widely blamed for exacerbating the Great Depression. The Smoot-Hawley tariffs, enacted during a period of global economic turmoil, raised tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods, triggering a wave of retaliatory tariffs from trading partners. This, in turn, led to a collapse in global trade, deepened the Depression, and contributed to the rise of political extremism around the world. Many economists and policy experts warn that Trump's actions could have similarly devastating consequences, leading to a contraction in global trade, job losses, and a decline in living standards. Advocacy groups like Rethink Trade are urging the administration to reconsider its approach and instead focus on policies that support American workers and businesses without resorting to protectionism. They recommend a combination of tax credits, investment incentives, bans on stock buybacks, and measures to make it easier for workers to form unions. Whether the Trump administration will heed these warnings and change course remains to be seen.